Hi, everybody. Hello. Okay. Huh? Bunny boy, where? Oh, right here. Bunny boy. Okay, time to go around and just do stuff aimlessly because I don't know what I'm doing. Um, I really don't know what to do. Oh, we can go do this.
I need to catch my breath. You and Rigungar are so different, but you know, you're a great couple. I'm even a little jealous.
Don't be jealous. Join us. We're always excited to try new things. Don't blush. I'm just kidding.
A very pale gnome with dull brittle hair is scribbling something busily on a small scroll, not looking up as you approach. Ah, here you are, at last. Go read the rules, quickly. They're posted a little further along. The other teams already arrived a while ago. The host said we'll start as soon as you show up and read the rules. Of course, I'm famous enough for my admirers to follow my every move, but still, I'd like to know, how did you know we were coming? The gnome shrugs. The host said so. Well, are you going to keep wasting time? Read the rules and we'll start. Fixing his glasses, Jubilos looks at the paper describing the rules. Well, let's see. I'll read out loud so that everyone can hear. Rules of the inconsequent debates, year to be added later. I see the authors didn't overstrain themselves. So the rules. Item 1. Obey the host in everything. Item 2, come in triplets. Item 3, no fighting, no killing each other, even temporarily. Even if you really want to, even if you apologize later. Item 4, the most important one. The participant must assume the shape of a giant frog. Jubilos looks puzzled. A frog? What does that have to do with anything? Are those the right rules for the competition? What irresponsible wordmonger may... What is this? Am I a frog? Examine the rules. Something is obviously wrong here. It's not difficult to see that the text of the last item of the rules is a little different from the others. It looks like someone just added it in, vaguely copying the style. The last rule has been added to the others. I would say someone inserted it on purpose and charmed the scroll somehow. That's sabotage! The huge frog can't keep his peace and croaks in indignation, turning me, into a giant ugly toad. How, would you please tell me, am I supposed to participate in the debates like this? I didn't carefully rehearse my image and the impressions I make on my listeners just to lose it all in a snap. And what if this spell can't be lifted? My admirers won't even recognize me. Sorry, I'm having trouble with my microphone right now. My pop filter wants to fall down. And what if this spell can't be lifted? My admirers won't even recognize me. Don't be upset. You're not an ugly frog. In fact, you're rather a handsome one. No, I can't bear this. Are you saying that the last rule was written in? Some other participant must have done it to hinder the rivals. Narian, we need to find the trickster and make them fix it. Don't worry, I'll question everyone here and identify the tricksters. Don't worry about anything. I'll go run to the host and ask him a few questions for my book. It'll buy you some time. You start looking for whoever is responsible for this. Greetings, I am Sir Alfrey, loyal follower of the Tentacles of Iomade. Knight, noble, and crusader for Mendev. Tentacles, oh yes. My knightly motto used to be courteous even in death, but I'm afraid it must now be changed to severing the tentacles of evil. In just a few phrases, he managed to pour more pomposity on us than I can manage in a week. Quite a talent. The tentacles of evil? And why is it that you want to change the motto, sir? You see, upon my arrival, I immediately went to read the tentacles of the event. But Guile already had me in its tentacles. The rules were charmed, and everyone who reads them must say tentacles every so often, which is happening to me just now. Tentacles. If I can't get rid of this affliction, at least tentacles, I can make it into my motto. Did you try to talk to the hosts about this? I did, in the name of tentacles. But Faye think that cheating within the rules is tentacles and perfectly appropriate. As a true knight, I must overcome these tentacles resolutely. Do you have any idea who could have done this to the rules? It was done by one of the participants who allowed their tentacles to guide their heart. Including you and me and my tentacles. 4 teams of 3 arrived. I swear by my tentacles, my service to the most honest Iomade would never allow such tentacles. Nor would I suspect you and your outstanding companions, noble tentacles all, to look for the villain among the other 2 teams. So you're a Mendevian crusader? Truly spoken, I hope you have heard about our glorious tentacles. Our order fights demons fearlessly, preventing their tentacles from spreading across the world. You don't often meet an ASMR in these lands. ASMRs are not so uncommon in our tentacles. Celestials are known to aid Mendevian crusaders in our war against the demons. Sometimes this camaraderie sparks a tentacle, personal attraction. But just the presence of a holy celestial nearby can sometimes cause the birth of an ASMR child. See? Easy as tentacles. Are you participating in the debates? I most certainly am, by my tentacles. I've come here to carry out the will of my tentacles and set a good example for my tentacles, and possibly to find a new way to fight tentacles. That is demons. If I win, the Fae might answer all my tentacles. This is ridiculous. I think I have to go. Before you leave, let me ask you, and in the name of tentacles, don't consider it idle curiosity. What need brought you to the tentacles debates? That would be me. I asked for the Baron's help in this in this endeavor, because winning will let us ask what made the tentacles, what caused the gnomes to leave the first world. For me, these tentacles are something more than mere scientific curiosity. I'm amazed at how inquisitive the tentacles of your mind are, sir. I admit it's the first tentacles that I've ever talked to such a learned frog. Tentacles, forgive me my ignorance, but it never even crossed my feeble tentacle that there are educated ones among your race. For the love of Desna, I'm not a frog. Let it be known to you, sir, that you are speaking to Jubilas Narthropple, well-known publicist and researcher. This shape but the consequence of a silly prank. I am a gnome, and that is why I'm participating in the debates, to learn how my race received the affliction called the bleaching and discover a way to fight it. In that case, I wish our worthy rivals good tentacles. In the name of truth, justice, and tentacles. Oh my god. Greetings. Are you participating in the debates too? The kobold brightens. Yes, participate. I participate. Amazing. We'll be competing against the inarticulate kin of unforgettable Tartuk. The kobold looks at Jubilas with interest. Huge frog, you speak? Can me mount you? I feed you ants, clean you skin. I am Ryder. In the list of all the job offers I've ever received, that will be honorably placed in the I'm ready to cry section. Poor Jubilost. Why do you have those jerboas there? The kobold lowers his head. Fae say need 3. I know 3. I know friends. Wanted go very much. Caught this jump mice. Now we are 3. Participate. It's like a spell was cast over my friend when he read the rules. Did anything like that happen to you? I don't read. Gnome, help me. Read for me, aloud. But then scream. I scared. So what do you want to ask the host if you win? I, dragon. How become dragon? Alright, I'll go. See, you.
I'll go ahead.
The pale gnome reads aloud enthusiastically. And the young wizard desperately thrashed about in his fetters, but all in vain. The shoots of the plants held him tightly. The nymph, cruel and beautiful, sneered at him, and immediately what? And immediately anything. The left frog is mocking the right one. Does this book ever end? I thought the wizard would die in the last chapter while he was running from the horde of unicorns through fields of giant fly traps. Oh, like you understand anything about literature, you stupid toad. The gnome looks at you again. Ah, hello again, travelers. It seems I haven't introduced myself. I'm Nerd Zottenroppel, and these 2 idiots are my brothers, Viar and Luar. So what did the nymph immediately do to the wizard? It's too much to tell. She keeps him hostage for another 4 chapters. I like it when it's more like real life. In this author's last book, he escaped from the evil wizard in 5 minutes. Why are you calling those frogs your brothers? Ha ha ha! These fools read the rules, and the rules are charmed. Nerd's colorless and dim eyes flare up with a mad and joyful fire. Anyone who reads them turns into a frog. So now I have 2 frog brothers. I guess I'll leave them as they are. When else will I ever have a chance to laugh so much? And why are they frogs? And why are they both frogs? Do they read them together? Yes, Nerd responds quickly. Nah, the frog on the right says happily. Shut up, Luar. Of course we did. We read them and we transformed. Now we're sitting and croaking. The little kobold said one of you helped him read the rules. Yeah, that's true, but he wasn't trying to read the frog rules. They're different on every pole. One turns you into a frog, another makes you say tentacles, and the third one makes you scream like crazy. Hilarious, right? Not remotely. You look pale. She looks bleached. Jubilos's voice is grim. That's alright. I've still got a fair bit of fight left in me. The Zottenroppels don't go down easy. Nerd smiles cunningly. My brothers and I lost our color long ago, but death still hasn't taken us. Are you participating in the debates? Sure, although really we're just here to see the show. We figured it would be fun, and we were right. You are confused, my friends. If one of you read the rules for the kobold, why isn't one of you screaming? How was it that both of your brothers were turned into frogs? And if Nerd already saw what happened and knew the rules were charmed, then why did she tell us to read them? Do you suspect us of something? Why would we charm the rules and read them ourselves? Or make you read them and put a spell on you? Nerd adjusts her ridiculous helm and strikes a rakish pose. Because you're gnomes. Only a gnome could think of playing a joke on everyone around and then joyfully get caught in their own prank. You're far-sighted and loud-voiced. I like you. Answer clearly. Did you charm the rules? Why are you picking on us? Our sister is the one who did it. Enough snitching, Luar. You're just jealous that it was Nerd who came up with the idea. And why did you do it? You're so boring. We wanted to, so we did it. Just think how funny it will be. Debates where all the participants are screaming or talking about tentacles or just croaking. Nerd roars with laughter. But we're honest players, so we charmed ourselves too. We wouldn't want an unfair advantage. Stop this immediately and release Jubilos from the spell. Croak. Croak, croak. We're just stupid frogs and we understand nothing. Nerd pretends not to hear anything. Narian, I know this is unexpected, but let's just leave it be. I'm ready to participate in the debates, even like this, croaking all the way. You think I won't use force despite the rules about non-aggression? Lift the spell or else. Succeeded at an intimidate check. Nerd looks at you angrily. I spent so much time getting this prank ready. If you only knew how hard it is when there's almost no color left in you. Fine, here you go. Ah, there you are. Glad I found you. I stalled for as long as I could, but now it's time to begin. Let's go, quickly. That's the first intimidate we've successfully done this whole playthrough. I succeed at diplomacy like all the time, but intimidate I seem to fail at. The hooded creature looks mundane, but after looking for a time, one might notice the figure's contours tremble and flow, as in a haze. Welcome to the Inconsequent Debates. You can call us the host. We are the reason for all that happens here today. You've read the rules, have you not? Not that there is anything useful in them. We only made up the real rules the day after tomorrow, then forgot them and had to make 2 new... Wait, what? The day after tomorrow, then forgot them and had to make new ones. So it's simple. You want... as your reward for us to answer a question, so the competition will involve answering questions. We ask, and one in each triplet answers, and always the same one. The others can only prompt. Let's see. It will be you, little kobold, you, Sir Alfrey, you, Nerd, and you, Narian. Remember one thing. Here at the Inconsequent Debates, there are no right or wrong answers. Every answer has weight, and each will be weighed. Don't choose the lightest one. Your rival might find a heavier argument. And most importantly, light answers are no fun for us. Why are you referring to yourself in the plural, host? You hear laughter emerge from under the hood. You know very well. You've met us, Narian. But it was a different us at a different time. For now, be satisfied that we do not wish to disclose ourselves. Tell us, why do you, creatures from the first world, need to organize all this? Win the competition and ask. Those are the rules of the game, right? Hell no, we are not wasting a precious question to discover the motives of the Fae and their lords. I don't have the imagination to think how absurd and silly their answer might be. Let's begin. Begins! The kobold jumps from joy. We are ready, the knight nods resolutely, despite the tentacles. Alright, let's see how tough they have it in the first world. Some of you look so serious, thus we'll begin with a question about weighty matters. What can move a mountain? My grandmother. Jubilos, Lindsay, what's our answer? Oh, I shouldn't have skipped my philosophy lessons at the academy. Such problems baffle me. It's not because I can't think of an answer, but because I think of 1,000 of them at once. And don't know where I can hide them from them. Let's see. We are dealing with Fae in the first world, and they told us clearly that trivial answers won't cut it. I think the good answer is its own will. In the first world, mountains often change position, and there's at least one that does it of its own free will. That's Euless, one of the Tane, the walking mountain. Its own will. We heard you. What will the others say? What can move a mountain? The little kobold frowns desperately. Maybe dragon? Dragon can move mountain. Faith and divine intervention. Do you hear, my faithful tentacles? Faith nourishes us. With devout faith in our tentacles and a righteous cause, everything is within our tentacles. A teleportation spell. Ha ha ha. I could probably manage moving a hill or two. In fact, that gives me an idea. We have heard you. Now you hear us. Of course, gods and magic can move mountains, but that answer is good for any question. How can one jump over the house? Magic. How to paint a fence yellow using blue paint? Divine intervention. Such light answers are the weakest. Good answer is its own will. Will and desire lie at the base of all our motions, action, and decision. If a mountain has a will, it will surely find a way to move. That was an interesting round. Let the next question be heard. What weakens when owned by many and dies if owned by none? Jubilos? That's a no-brainer. It's glory. It can't belong to many, because then it's devalued, and it can't belong to no one either. Glory. The little kobold looks as if he is about to cry. I don't know this. Maybe it's dragon? That little kobold is so cute. It's the knight's heart. I swear by my tentacles, it can belong to himself, or his righteous cause, or to his greatest tentacles. It can't belong to everybody. Vyar, look how I can roll my eyes. Fools, concentrate on the competition. This won't do. We won't accept the answer from the Zottenrompel triplet this round. But you are a spectacular eye roller. Now, as for the other answers, the heart is not the best answer. Even among knights, there are many whose hearts belong to beautiful women, and a beloved mother, plus their friends, their commander, their righteous cause, and a delicious lunch, especially a delicious lunch. And it doesn't seem that those hearts that belong to many grow any weaker. Glory is a poor answer. Only an extremely egoistic person who does not wish to share credit could think it shouldn't belong to many. One's own glory does not diminish anyone else's. We were almost prepared to agree on the dragon, but alas, no one gains victory in this round. Here the third question. Each of us is born at the same time with a monster. Each day we live, it grows, it can torment, bring us joy, or kill without a single wound. What is it? Let's see. Each day we live, each of us is born at the same time with a monster. Each day we live, it grows. It can torment, bring us joy, or kill without a single wound. What is it? I want to say ambition. No! I think it's ambition. Doesn't it sound like ambition? What do you say, Jubilos? Considering that the question is asked by a representative of the Fae, the answer could be anything from singing to the love of pastries. But let's think logically. The last part of the riddle can easily be ignored, because just about anything in the world can aid or ruin you depending on the circumstances. What's important is that the riddle clearly points to some quality or property of a living creature, something that is born with us. Another point, it grows. I would say knowledge. Each new day brings something new, so our knowledge of ourselves and the world keeps growing. For some, though, this process is ridiculously slow. No, I wouldn't say it's knowledge. You think it's memory? I don't think it's knowledge. No, you're not born with knowledge. I think it's ambition. I'm gonna say ambition. We have heard you. What will the others say? What is the monster? The little kobold grabs his head, stressed. Maybe it's dragon? It's curiosity. It is born with us. It grows day by day. It saves us from the bleaching. And if you only knew how many it's killed. Well, we won't know if you're right. I don't know if the answer will do, but the greatest tentacles is the one that lives inside us. We grow a tentacles beast in our soul. We feed it with wrath, neglect, and tentacles. Eventually, it could break free and kill us, but tentacles must admit, the same beast gives strength to villains and tentacles. The poison we feed our monsters only nourishes them. Interesting answers, except for the dragon. The dragon doesn't count, alas. Curiosity is also insufficient. The monster we described must by its own nature grow. Many see their curiosity dim over the years. The same thing can be said of ambition. Many have none and many lose it over time. Well, we have only one answer that fits our terms to some degree, the inner beast. Sir Alfred, you win this round. One final trial and we will sum up the results. I grow tired of questions. Do you know the game Night Dragon Snag? The knight defeats the dragon burns the snag, but if the knight walks in the woods, he will stumble on the snag and die. That's why the snag defeats the knight. Children's games, great. These are the inconsequent debates. Why not play a game? So you break up into pairs and yell out your chosen word at the signal. One who shouts knight defeats the one who shouts dragon. The one who shouts dragon defeats the one who shouts snag. And snag defeats knight. We'll play Sir Alfred against the kobold. And Nerd Zottenroppel against the Baron. The winners will then play each other. Is the first pair ready? Yell on 3. 1, 2, 3. Knight. Dragon! I knew that was coming. This was all too predictable, but charming in a way. The host is obviously enjoying the game. It's a good thing we didn't look ahead. It's much more fun to see it unfold like this. Sir Alfred wins. Now for the second pair. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Dragon! Nerd shouts, performing a spot-on impersonation of the kobold, then falls over laughing, looking like her own amusement is more important to her than the competition. A tie. Let's go again. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Snag. Oh, is that another tie? The Baron is like my other brother. We think exactly the same. Let's go again. 1, 2, 3. Knight. Snag, 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 hooray! Damn. I should have said snag again. Nerd Zottenroppel wins this round. Don't sigh so mournfully, Sir Jubilost. Your disappointment will make all the flowers within 100 steps wilt and die. Besides, all is not lost. The results have yet to be tallied. The final pair, Nerd against Sir Alfrey. 1, 2, 3. Sir Alfrey takes a deep breath with his mighty chest, but then the curse takes over. Tentacles. Nerd begins, but then she hears what her opponent has shouted, refuses to finish, and doubles over with laughter. No one wins the round. Well, it was fun anyway, and now it's time to announce the winner of the debates. After 4 tests, the triplet of Sir Alfrey and the triplet of the Baron have the same score, but there can only be one winner. What shall we do? The knight stands tall and proud. There's no need to choose. Give the tentacles to the Baron and Sir Jubilos Narthropple. I swear by my tentacles, my squires and I have put a lot into this crusade, but a knight's tentacles means respecting their worthy rivals. From all our heart and tentacles, we cede this victory. Let it be. Baron, as the only voice of your triplet, you may ask your question. Think carefully. We will answer honestly, but I don't know is also an honest answer. Ask about something important and something that a host from the first world might know the answer to. Narian, do you remember? The fate of the note? Jubilos suddenly stops talking. He opens and closes his mouth, but makes not a sound. Have a silence spell, mate. Ha ha ha, I love it. Now what's he going to do? Come, brothers, let's run. Now everything is in your hands, Narian. Think well upon your questions. We will answer honestly, but I don't know is also an honest answer. Ask about what a host from the first world might know. Any suggestions for a good pet name? They're gonna say dragon. No, I'll be nice for Jubilost. I want to know why the gnomes left the first world. There's the question. We knew it would be asked, but a simple answer, a light answer, has no value, right? We hope our debates convinced you of this. That is why we present to you another answer. A good one, a valuable one. Numbers will help you on your way. One of them is... oh my god, another riddle. Ugh. What did I expect, though? It is the Fae. Numbers will help you on your way. One of them is 5th and 10. It will be easy to find if you read Who Opened the Road for the Ancient Dead Man and his black-feathered messenger. A second is 12 times in a dozen, and is thrice the number of those who lost their faces. Don't try to guess it now, it's not yet time. Wait until he who is born twice will twice be defeated. Put the 2 numbers together when the moon leaves her path near the waters of the Candlemere. Find the one who will open the secret. A heap of senseless mumble instead of a first walk the road, then you may accuse us of being senseless. But in the end, you won't. That was your final question. We have the answer, and yet we don't. But what an adventure. Narian, we'll have to discuss this further on our return to the capital. Farewell, Narian. We almost forgot. The host turns to the kobold. You little creature, you didn't win, but you managed to make us laugh. Do you want to come with us? No promises you'll turn into a dragon, but still. The kobold jumps from joy, but then carefully asks, pointing at Jerboa, take my friends? Yes? Alright, fine, the hooded creature laughs. Listen all. The inconsequent debates are now closed. We spare all of you the effects of the Zottenroppel chicks and bid you farewell.
The path is clear.
Oh. They said they were gonna add something to my map when we went to Varnhold. But I didn't see anything. So I'm gonna look this up. Alright guys, I'm trying to skim through this as best I can. Oh, that's not good. It says I shouldn't have revealed my name to the Raven. It said there will be consequences later if you do. I'm supposed to go to the overgrown cavern, I guess. Over here.
to catch my breath.
I feel tired.
So strange. The first world reminds me of an oasis in the middle of a desert, a riot of life. But there's madness in its power. It frightens me.
Repent!
I marvel at your patience, Tristian. Didn't you ever want to curse or yell or smash someone's face?
I have felt those feelings, of course. I'm not a stranger to common human passions. But it doesn't become a servant of Sarenrae to act out his sordid urges.
I'm trying to get the main story quests going so I can be done with this game. Hey, who's that walking over there? A barbarian standing guard at the cave entrance calls over to you coarsely. It's dangerous to walk around here. Better turn back. This is your only warning. Let me in or I'll force my way in. Looking to put your strength to the test? That can be arranged. Damn. See, I always fail. Always fail those intimidate checks. Is that really all that's in this cave? Okay, there's more.
Tread lightly.
Nope, that's pretty much all that's in this cave.
I did as you asked.
Let us begin.
One sec, guys. Oh. Okay. I wasn't supposed to kill these guys. Time to load the autosave. Whoopsies. I guess you can kill them, but it makes it harder. And I really don't want it to be harder. I'm the local baron. I have every right to be here. And who are you? The guard scratches his head, confused. You? A chieftain? Well, wonders never cease. We're fighters from the Tiger Lord's tribe. We're just minding our own business here. We're not looking for a fight. So long as you're not looking for trouble, you may enter. A half-orc woman sits by the fire. Her clothes are made of leather and fur, matching the rest of the barbarians. She frowns as she slides her finger along a map crudely drawn on a crumpled sheet of paper. She lifts her gaze as she notices you. Guests. Who are you? If you're a friend, take a seat by the fire and let's talk. I'm Bolga from the Tiger Lord's tribe. I lead this group. Are you a chieftain? Me? No. Just seasoned enough to lead a group. Our chieftain is Armag, the Twiceborn. Bolga says the name proudly, as though expecting recognition or awe. He's back home in Numeria right now. What's your chieftain known for? Long ago, he was the greatest of the Numerian chieftains, and Gorm's chosen. Armag was so strong, no mortal could strike him down. It was only when Pharasma herself challenged him to battle that he fell, and only because of her divine power. But now Armag shamed her and came back from the afterlife. Great Armag leads the Tiger Lords once more, now as Armag the Twiceborn. And soon, word of our exploits will spread all over Avestan. Do you know anything about the situation at Barnhold? Barnhold? Where's that? The barbarian looks down at her map and finds a rough sketch of the area. No. No idea. We've never been there. Thank you for the invitation. I'll take you up on it. Sure. What are you doing here? We were looking for some ruins, or a cave or something. I don't really know. Only Dugath knows exactly what we're looking for. He's a cleric, and he's our leader on this expedition. Well, him and the sisters. Who are these sisters? They're witches who serve Armag. They seem to know a lot about the world, history, gods, even other worlds. They're pretty smart talkers. You'd hardly believe the things they know, and they have these strange, unimaginable spells. When Armag ordered us to pack up for this expedition, we thought we'd be marching for a month, but they just waved their hands, whoosh, and a tunnel of multicolored lights opened before us. The trip here took us just 1 hour. Could you imagine it? I wouldn't be surprised if you can't. Where might I find Dugath and these sisters? They're in our main camp here. Bolga points at a cross on her map. If you're looking to hire us or have some other business, come visit. It'd be much better than digging around in the dirt out here. Have you found anything of interest? It'd be nice if we had. So far, it's just dirt, crap, and monsters. Like we don't get enough of that back in Numeria. We found this hole and the monsters that were living here. We took a beating doing it, but we managed to kick them out. Then, after we searched the place, we found out it's just a regular cave. Nothing of note. After a day or so, we'll probably head out and keep searching. I have to go. Sure, no point in denting our asses in this hole. We'll head out soon, most like. Safe journey to you.
Done and done.
There's nothing here.
I'll go ahead.
What did we get stopped for then? What a waste of time. You are not a waste of time, shush. On the low grounds among the hills, some Numerian barbarians had set up camp. While obviously set up recently as a place to rest, it was thoroughly constructed. Along with the stake palisade, the Numerians had reinforced their camp with a deep moat. Spotting the body of some clunky thief at the bottom, it seemed they made a good call. Some unlucky thief, not clunky. I don't know why I read that as clunky. Guarding the entrance was our old acquaintance Snober, the man whose group we met in the hills previously. While his greeting was none too friendly, he did invite us to enter and led us to meet his leader. We were led to a man named Dugath, a middle-aged Kelid with a gorgeous mane, once charcoal black, now salt and pepper, as well as bronze skin hardened by sun, wind, and time to the point that it almost looked like oak bark. Speaking with assertive tones, he invited us to dine with the Tiger Lords. That was the name of their tribe, and spend the night in their camp. Any business we might have with the tribe, he said, could be discussed in the morning, once everyone was rested and refreshed. Not wanting to offend the barbarians, who'd proven to be commendably hospitable, we accepted the invitation. Within minutes, we were seated by the bonfire with goblets in our hands. As guests, our goblets were wrought of skillfully decorated silver, with intricate carvings depicting scenes of battle. The cupbearer filled everyone's goblets with wine. When Dugath raised his cup, officially starting the feast, the Baron took a small sip from his goblet. No, that's not my style. Stood and proposed a toast of health to the people gathered there. The Numerians listened to the toast in awkward silence, but when the Baron stopped speaking and drained his goblet, they burst into angry shouting. All of them spilled their wine on the ground. It was apparently a barbarian tradition, offering the first cup to the spirits. Only after the cupbearer filled their goblets again did the Numerians start to drink, and so did we. Oops. The main course, unsurprisingly, was meat. While hunting in the hills, the Numerians had killed a deer and 2 wild boars, all now roasting over an open fire. As the tribe's guests, we were offered the best pieces. Fierce in battle, the Numerians were equally fierce at the table. They frantically tore the meat apart with knives, bare hands, and teeth, as though attacking the throats of their worst enemy rather than eating roast venison. Only one camp inhabitant didn't join the dinner. Far from the festivities, a slim woman wrapped in a gray cloak sat alone, her face hidden behind a piece of cloth. She was so quiet and still, at first, I didn't realize she was a living being at all. The Baron either didn't notice her, or just decided it would be wiser to ignore her. After everyone had eaten their fill, it was time for entertainment. The barbarians began singing a drawling song in their guttural language known as Halit. Later, one of the Numerians explained that it was a ballad about a brother and sister who defeated a huge metal spider. The song that followed was a comedic piece about the adventures of a stupid werewolf. The Numerians all sang it together. It was clear that each of them knew that one by heart. Almost everybody clapped to the rhythm, though some thumped their knife handles on their shields, and our half-orc acquaintance Bolga accompanied the song on a vargan. Once the song was over, Dugath appealed to his guests, us, to surprise our hosts. The Baron decided our best choice would be the tale of how we defeated the Stag Lord. Our tale of battle and heroic deeds was just what the barbarians were looking for. They listened eagerly, chimed in on each detail, and laughed and clapped at the most epic moments. Even Dugath found himself smiling and nodding as he listened to our story. Finally, the drinking and singing came to an end. Only bones remained from the feast, and the bonfire had burned down to ash. Satisfied, the Nemerians retired to their tents.
I beg you, I haven't seen my sisters for several days. I'm afraid they may be in trouble.
As you approach the barbarian leader, you can't help but overhear part of his conversation with a woman you recognized from the feast before. Her face remains hidden and she sounds extremely worried.
This whole land is nothing but trouble. You want me to risk my life and the lives of my people to do your dirty work? Go ahead, ask Armagh to give the order. Oh, but Armagh stayed back in Numeria, which means I am the one making the decisions here.
But what about my sisters? Something terrible could happen to them.
You sisters insisted on this expedition, so it's your price to pay. With your blood, not ours. Something terrible could happen, you say? It is too late for that. We already lost good men on this pointless journey to nowhere. Whatever Armagh needs, it's not here, and it wasn't here from the start. But you didn't come here for him, did you? You came for your own reasons. You want some magic toy that once belonged to the ancient Cyclops. Well, I'm not leading my men to their deaths for that.
Dugath.
This conversation is over. You want help? Why not ask our guests to help you? If you can afford their rates, that is. As for me, my single remaining goal is to get my people home alive, and well, and as soon as possible.
The woman leaves, sobbing. Dugath turns to you. Good morning. Well, let's get down to business, shall we? Introductions aren't necessary, Baron. I know who you are. Let's discuss how we can be useful to one another. Do you know me? How?
How do you think? We keep an eye on everything that happens in the region. It's smart to know our potential employers and our potential enemies.
Very wise. It would be even wiser not to tell the lord of these lands that you consider him an adversary. Who's that woman?
Wish I knew who these witches are and where they came from. Our chieftain, the great Armagh, spirits bless him, trusts them as if they were holy oracles. He sent us with them to these dead hills, and none but the sisters and the chieftain himself know why. Who am I to confront the chieftain? So now we wander these lands, chasing the unknown.
Do you know anything about what happened in Varnhold?
Arnold, huh? Isn't that the village Megar Varn got from the Ristovik Sword Lords? I know Varn. He's not the best fighter, but not the worst. As for what happened there, I wouldn't know.
So how can we be useful to each other?
I'm afraid we can't. At least not yet. I'd be happy to take a new job, but our chieftain's orders were strict. Search the location and come back with a report. But if you could help us here, say, by finding whatever these witch sisters are looking for, or maybe just making them disappear forever. Mark my word, Baron. The Tiger Lords never forget those who helped them.
Let me ask you a question.
Away, why not? I don't promise I'll answer, though.
What do you know about Cyclops?
Not that much. Long ago, these lands were part of their empire. They were great people back then, used unbelievable magic, and possessed treasures beyond count. Ages passed, and their empire crumbled into dust. Cyclops became wild and forgot all about what they once used to be. But the ruins, yes, the ruins remember everything.
Thank you for your answers.
You're welcome.
What are you looking for here?
I wish I knew. The sisters are looking for something, but they won't tell anyone what it is. I guess it's some antique that used to belong to the Cyclops. Some magic trinket or something. As for me, the only thing I'm looking for is a good reason to quit this nonsense and return to Numeria as soon as possible.
How did it go? Did you find anything of interest?
If we did, do you think we'd still be here now? The only thing to be found in these hills is one's own death. A group of my men entered a cave that turned out to be a Spriggan den. They barely survived the encounter. Also, we found the ruins of some old tower, ancient as the world itself, and useless as this expedition. There is nothing to be found here, except, like I said, for one's own death.
I have to go.
You have so many scars. You must have seen so much.
Ah, more than a few, yes. I just gave away my oldest granddaughter to be married. She's a little younger than you.
So you have vast experience, and not just on the battlefield?
I was wondering the same thing. Oh, listen, girl. I'm too old to fall for such tricks. If you want to tease your lover, good luck, but you'll have to find someone younger than me.
I'm out of line. You're out of line. I'm not your slave, got it? I'm a free person and I will do what I want.
Yes.
Fine. Let's forget about it.
You, our guest. The Baron, am I right? I'm sorry you witnessed that unpleasant scene. If I may ask, what is your name?
You don't need to know my name.
So be it. Everyone has their secrets, Baron.
Do you know anything about what happened in Varnhold?
Dark things tend to happen in that land. I can only guess to the fate of Varnhold. My 3 sisters know more. Help me find them, and you'll get your answers. If the spirits are kind, it will happen before it's too late.
Do you have any idea where your sisters might be?
Do you have a map? I can provide you some direction. One of my sisters went to the sepulchre of forgotten heroes. Another went looking for the Forsaken Mound. And the third was going to visit the ruins of the City of the Hollow Eyes. I won't lie, these places are all very dangerous. But searching for lost truth always involves danger.
I have to go.
If in your travels you meet my sisters, please help them, and I will help you in return. Remember this word, Gahab. That is what the previous inhabitants of these lands, the Cyclopses, called darkness they so worshipped. If a door shut and lockless bars your path, this word might be your key. May kind spirits guide you in your travels.
Please have a bag of holding. Please have a bag of holding. I doubt it. You're barbarians. Yeah, you're barbarians. You don't have a bag of holding. I haven't seen one in a while.
The path is clear.
The ruins of the tower loomed over the surrounding plains like a tombstone so old that time had worn away the epitaph, as well the language it had been written in. Each crumbling step of the giant stairway was as tall as a grown man's chest, and the huge portal where the door once stood was wide enough for our entire party to walk abreast through. We decided to climb the tower. It was hard to imagine how tall the building must have been before the crumbling under its own weight. It's possible that even the owners would have towered above us had they still been around. Even so, by using the cracks and pits in the stone wall, an experienced climber would likely be able to scale the tower. Lindsay spat on her hands and swiftly climbed up to one of the high ledges, what remained of the second floor. There, the walls had deteriorated even further. They were covered with engravings, barely visible symbols of some ancient language. After catching her breath, she decided to try to read the inscription. After removing the moss from some of the symbols engraved into the stone, Lindsay studied them carefully. Lindsay eventually managed to determine that the large symbols must have been written in an ancient Cyclopean language. Time had ravaged the symbols, leaving them largely illegible, but she was able to make out a single word, Vorticai. After committing the word to memory, Lindsay decided to climb further. Climbing higher was no easy task. Lindsay's fingers slipped on wet moss, and the rocks crumbled beneath her feet. Perched atop a shelf on the opposite wall, a large black raven watched Lindsay's ascent intently. Clinging to the signs that were carved into the wall, Lindsay slowly began moving upwards. At last, she reached the top. An uneven stub was all that was left of the spire that once must have reached to the lower clouds. Alas, there was no treasure to be found there, unless you are willing to count the magnificent view of the surrounding area. A fire flickered in the distance. Someone had set up camp there. Finding out she had seen enough, Lindsay carefully descended. After that, we decided to turn away and leave. We walked away, leaving the stone colossus to its eternal slumber. Alright, I know it's been a really short stream, but I think I'm gonna end it here for the night. It's getting kind of late, and I want to get some good rest tonight so that I can stream longer tomorrow. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget, if you have been enjoying the stream, to follow. It really helps. I'm trying to push for affiliate, and I need to reach 50 followers. Every little bit helps. Bye, everybody.